Hello everyone. So today we are going to be talking about taking apart one of the parts, one of our molds. Okay, we're going to do a step-by-step process. And this is you guys need to be very diligent about what you're doing. Take your time and follow the order which I'm showing you how to do this, because we do this every day in this classroom, and it needs to be done correctly, and it needs to be done efficiently, and it needs to be done right. Okay? So, this is a mold of a pot. Okay? This is one of our most popular molds. You need to be extremely careful with these molds, because if they break, they cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars. And the school does not buy those pots for us. They don't buy the molds for us. Our classroom, by selling the products that we make, is what generates the money so that we can buy new stuff. So if we break one of these, then it's going to cost our classroom a couple hundred, not a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand to replace. Okay, so let's be careful. Okay, you can see I'm just using my bare hands. You don't have to worry, none of this is going to hurt us, all right? This is not going to hurt us in any shape, way, or form. Just don't drop it on your foot, or squeeze your hand, or smash a finger, all right? We don't want to do that. This is a wrench. Let's say that. Wrench. Okay? It's got two ends. It's got an open end and it's got a box end. This is our most popular wrench. I have several of these. Please do not lose them. They're very expensive to replace. Okay? This is a 7/16 end wrench. So it's a 7 with a slash 16th. Okay, over a 16. Alright? So what we do, we need a wrench, we need a cup. We're going to take the bolts and the nuts out of our mold and place them in the cup. We're going to do this one at a time. If you should drop one, stop what you're doing, pick it up. Don't just leave it. Again, these nuts and bolts cost us money. The whole point is that we have to be diligent about keeping our area clean and keeping our area safe and keeping our costs of our products down. Okay, if you lose these nuts and bolts, well, then we have to go and spend more money that we could go spend our money on something else. Okay? So you're going to be on a workbench or a work table like one of these, or on this little cart like this. So what we're going to do is we take our wrench and we go onto the top of the bolt just like this, and you can either use the box end or you can use the open end, whichever one you feel comfortable with. Take your other hand, reach underneath and hold the nut, hold the wing nut. So now we're going to turn it left. We're going to go counterclockwise. So a saying that we use is lefty loosey. So we turn it, you see that? And now it is loose. Do it again. See, now our nut is loose. Okay, and we don't have to use the wrench all the way. We can, once we have it loose, we can stop, put our wrench down, and then we can just spin our bolt. Remember, we're going counterclockwise. We're going to the left. Okay, we take it out, we take the bolt out. That's what a bolt looks like. This is our washer, this is our bolt, and this is our nut. If you notice, our nut has wings on it. This is called a wing nut. Let's say that, wing nut. All right? Into our cup they go. Just like that. All right, so now we just go around and we repeat the process for all of our bolts. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of speed it up here just a little bit, because I'm pretty fast at this. I've done it a long time. Okay. And it doesn't matter what way you do it. You can go backwards, you can go forwards. You can, if you don't want to spin the nut from the top, let's go over here. You can hold it from up here, and then you can turn it this way. Turn the wing nut. See? Just like that, if you want to prefer to do it that way. Okay? Into the cup. Again, bolt, washer, nut, into the cup. See how I'm getting them into the cup? That's where they all need to be. Okay, it's just a process. It's just a assembly line type of thing. All right, and that's what we teach in here is an assembly line method of doing things, to creating with our pots and our molds and our products. Okay, so there's our last bolt on the top. Again, we're going left, turning it to the left, pull it out into the cup. So now we have to go to the side. Very important on this pot that we make sure we get all of the bolts out from this mold. If this mold is not coming apart, then you have a bolt stuck in there. So again, it's just the same process. Hand wrench, we use our wrench, we go down, we're turning it to the left, counterclockwise, and there it goes. There it comes out. We're holding the nut, wing nut, bolt, into the cup. Okay, let me take this apart really fast. And on some of these, let me show you, some of these you don't even need a wrench. You can just turn the wing nut. See, again, I'm turning it to the left, and there it goes. And we just push it out. We don't need to have these really tight, okay? Oh. We spin it. Uh-oh, what did I do? I dropped one. What do I do now? Do I continue? No. I stop. I pick up the nut where I dropped it. I put it in the cup and I take my bolt out and I put it in the cup. Remember that. If you drop a nut or a bolt or both, always stop, pick it up before you move on. Okay, we have to do 2 more sides here. For a reason. We'll move on. Okay. Now is the time for us to take apart the pot. First things first. When you have all the bolts out, you stop and you come and you get me. Okay, I am always here. I don't ever go out. I'm in the classroom. I'm always working with you guys. I stand right here by your side sometimes. When you get to this point and you have all the bolts out of your pot, you stop and you come and get me. What do? That's right. You stop and you come and get me. I am the only one that takes apart the molds. Okay, because I don't want them broken. And that is extremely important. That's the #1 rule. Do not take them apart unless you come and get me. All right? So now we're going to take our scraper here and we're going to pull apart a part of our pot. See? And we wiggle it out and it comes out. Okay? And that's what it's going to look like. That's the inside of the mold. It's going to have cement on it. It's not going to hurt you. It's just dry. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we just put it over here on the table. Or we can put it on the floor. Whichever what we do, we make sure that we're not going to trip on it. Okay, safety is #1 here. All right? So we repeat the process. We do that one. Same thing. Comes off. I'm stacking it over here out of my way. Okay, now I'm going to do this. Huh. What's wrong? It won't come off. Why won't it come off? Oh, wait a minute. Look, we forgot a nut and a bolt. Remember, if it's too tight, then you miss something. Don't force these. Don't force these molds off. Okay? Oops, I made a mistake. So now I got to take this off. We take it off. We're going counterclockwise with our rotation on our nut and our bolt. We take it out into the cup. Oh, look, it just falls apart. See how easy that is? Okay, if it doesn't come apart easy, then we've missed something. Okay, one more side. Stack it up. This is the hard part now. Sometimes these pop right off. Sometimes I have to get a hammer. That's why it's very important you come and get me to do these. Okay, so this one's been sitting a little bit. So now we need our hammer. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. That is our hammer. It is a rubber hammer. We don't use a steel hammer because it will break these. Okay? Our hammer has seen some better days, but it still works. So we're gonna have to put some pressure on this, and we tap. And we tap, oh, and then we take it out. Happy birthday, Mr. Pot. Our pot is this, today is our pot's birthday. It's out of the mold. Okay, we always say that. We always wish it a happy birthday. So when you're all done, and we've got it all out of the mold, we move all our stuff, right? Put it over here on the table, all our equipment, all our mold and all of that. We're gonna take this pot and we are going to just move it over here, out of the way, and we're either going to put it over here because we need some of these. And again, I'll be doing this with you, so you're going to have to help me because this stuff is really heavy. Okay? We're going to lift it and we'll put it on the table, ready for painting. That's our next video series. Okay, so then we take our cart out of the way, we come on back here, and we come back to where we were working on our mold. Look at our mold. Do you think we just put it back together like that? Look, it's got old cement all over it, dust, dirty. Okay, we have to clean it. If we don't clean it, then we're not going to get the design out of the pot that we need. So we take our scraper. That is a scraper. We have multiple types of scrapers. Okay? That's a scraper. That's a scraper. You see, one's a little bit bigger than the other. It makes no difference which one you use because it does the same thing. All right? And then we just come in here and we clean up our pot. We're going to scrape this all down. Okay. And we want to get our designs. This is the important part. You can put it up against yourself and you're going to scrape out those designs. Right? It's very important that you get that stuff out of there. All right? Just like that. Okay, and that's why we use a scraper. And you'll notice my scrapers are rounded off. Okay, they're not going to hurt you, right? See how it's jamming into me? It's not going to hurt you. Okay, so they are well used. So we want to clean all this up, get all our designs done. Okay, the idea is to try and go as fast as you can, but at the same time, we want you to be careful and we want you to do a good job. Okay, there's no quota as to how many we need to get out or anything like that. I just don't want you spending all day on it because, you know, we've got other things to do with our day, right? So we come in here and we scrape all this stuff out. We scrape all this down. Now sometimes what we could use if our scraper isn't working, we're going to use a rag. And there's my rag. Let me get a rag really fast here. Hold on. So you see, we're just wiping these out. Sometimes a rag is better than the scraper. All right. Take all that out. And make sure we get, especially on the sides, we want to make sure we want to get any of this, we call it slag, off of the cement, because otherwise the pot isn't going to form right. You know, if there's too much slag built up in here, then it's going to become, the pot will be lopsided. See, so we want it all to be orange, okay, as much as possible. Okay, then we're going to take this off. That's important. We want to scrape all that off. As much of that stuff off as we can. All right? We want to turn out nice looking products. That's what makes our stuff sell. And if we can't sell it, then we can't buy new stuff. Okay? It's just kind of like a job. If you don't do a good job at where you're working, you're not going to have a job for very long, right? Because we want to do really, really good work here. Quality work. That's what we're known for. Quality work, cheap prices. Okay. All right, so that's, as you can see, that's pretty well wiped out. That's pretty good. Our designs are all cleaned out. There's no slag in there, and there's no slag on either side. Okay, it's just solid orange, as much as orange as we can see. So now, at this stage, we're going to do that for every single one of our molds. Okay? Every single one of our molds, we're going to do that. So now the next step, after we've got them all cleaned up, is we're going to take our oil. Okay? Now, I call it oil because that's what it is, but it's in a release. What it really is a release agent. And it's not going to hurt you, right? You can get it on your hand, right? Get it all over yourself. All it is, it's just made from cottonseed, is all it is. It's cottonseed oil. I don't want you drinking it, okay? That will get you sick if you drink it, okay? But so don't do that. And don't wipe it all, don't get it all over your hands, because that's, you know, there's no reason to do that, because we don't want that to happen either. Now, you have to be very, very careful with this oil, not so much about getting it all over you, about tipping it over or dropping it on the floor. Okay, this is in a glass container. I don't want that broken. That's glass, okay? I don't know anything else that really holds this oil very well except for glass. All right, so we get a little bit. We don't need a lot of this stuff. Okay, a little goes a long way. So I just have one brush. I stand it up and I'm going to work away from myself. See, and I just go down, just like that. And I take my strokes down. All right, just like that. We don't need a lot. If we use too much, what's going to happen is it's going to cause our pot, this oil will actually make the pot have holes all through it. And the cement won't form. So we don't want that. So again, we cover the whole area. Notice, I haven't dipped my brush yet. I can even come back here and get up all the excess. I'm going to do the sides, just like that. See? Still, I haven't dipped my brush yet. We do this entire here. All this side, there. One more time, I'm getting up whatever excess I can. And we do the top. We have to paint all of the orange. All of the orange. Now, we put our brush back into our container where we keep our oil. We're going to take a rag and we're going to wipe it down. Okay? Because even though we just put a small light coat on, that's still too much. Okay? We shouldn't see any oil standing on any of our mold. If we do, we've used way too much. Okay? Now, that mold is ready to start being put back together. That's one piece of our mold. We're going to repeat that for every single piece of our mold. Okay, so I have taken the liberty to go ahead. I've cleaned up all our molds. I've got everything situated. So now we reverse the process and we're going to put it back together. Okay, so our molds are like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, everything is a jigsaw puzzle, but just like a jigsaw puzzle, we have to look for little clues. Okay, so one of our clues that we're going to look for is these little indentions here. All right, this is like a little lip that's lifted up, and our bolt holes. So, if I'm going to put it here, say I put it here. Is that right? No, because look, yes, it meets the indention, but look, no bolt holes. See, there's a bolt hole here, and a bolt hole here, but nothing there or there. So that's not right. So let's take it to the next one. Oh. Does that fit? Again. Is in there, but no bolt holes, no bolt holes. One more time. Well, third time's the charm, right? Look, meets our criteria. It fits in our little indention, so our lip fits in there, and we've got a bolt hole here, and we've got a bolt hole here. Okay, so now, with this particular mold, you guys, you're going to take the nut, or you can take the bolt and the washer. Always make sure it has a washer on it, because this one's getting old. We're going to slide it off a little bit off the table, and we're going to go underneath. Look, the head of the screw is underneath. Okay, so now we're holding it, we're kind of pinching it off to the side. Just like that. And now we take our, what do we call that? That's right, a wing nut. And we're going to put it on here. Now, we're going to go clockwise, right? Righty-tighty. So we turn it clockwise. And sometimes we can spin that. We We spin it all the way down until it's finger tight. Okay? All right, so we have one piece of our mold put back together, one piece of our puzzle. So now we have to look for more clues of our puzzle. Look, we have more indentions, more little lips. See how they form that? Okay. Do you think that these are going to go into there? Well, the only way we know is if we try, just like a jigsaw puzzle, right? We just got to try. So it does fit there. Okay, so it meets that criteria. It meets the bolt hole criteria because we have both bolt holes. Oh, and look, we have one more criteria. We have another lip that it has to lock into. So there we go. Right? So that piece fits right there. And we're going to go to our next piece. Now look at this piece. Same indentions. We have the same little lock-in criteria here, and we've got the bolts. Put it in. It fits, doesn't it? And then of course we only have one other piece. Take that, and our last piece, and look, we solved our puzzle. So now we take our bolts, and one at a time we're going to lock them in. It doesn't matter which way we put the bolts in. It can be this way or this way. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we always have a bolt for every hole, and we have a nut on every bolt. Okay? That way we know we didn't drop anything, we didn't lose anything, and we know that our mold is going to stay together. Okay, the only thing that I ask you guys to do is to make sure that the bolts on this mold come up through the bottom in there, and then we put our luck nut, our wing nut there. Okay? And then see how simple that is? And now we're going to do that for every single hole of our pot. So we'll go ahead and I'll speed up here, and I'll be quiet, and you guys can just watch me do this really fast. I don't know if I can be quiet, but and remember, these don't have to be super tight, just finger tight. And if you're not very strong in your fingers, we use our wrench, we put it here, right? And we just tighten it down. Okay? Righty-tighty. We're going with the clock. So all our bolts are on our sides here. Flip it over just to make it a little easier. Oh, wait a minute, I messed up. Does that have a washer on it? Like that one? No, it doesn't. So we go back, pop it out, we put a washer on it, put it down. Very important on this particular mold. We have a nut with or bolt with a washer, because our mold is getting old, and I can't get a new mold like this ever again because the company went out of business. So we have to take very, very good care of all the products, all our molds that we use. Okay. So now we're just going to go around, and again we're going to tighten up our bolts and our nuts. You see I'm turning it to the right. I'm turning it this way. So I'm tightening. Remember, left is loose, right is tight. Always remember that. You'll be right 99.9% of the time. But the only time that you'll ever have to actually loosen a bolt to the left is if you're dealing with an old Chrysler car on their wheels. They had left-handed lugs for whatever known reason. That's probably why Chrysler went out of business. Okay, so our cup is empty. Ta-da! That means we put all our bolts in, did we? Let's count and make sure that we did. So we're going to start up at the top. Right here, noting this lip, we'll put our finger here, and we're going to go clockwise with our counting. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 bolts on the top. Now on the side, start here so we know where we're at. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 bolts. So we had how many? 11 here. And how many up here? How many? I don't know. Let's count again. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So we had 11 plus 8. So we have a total of 19 bolts. You should have 19 bolts, 19 nuts, and 19 washers on this mold. When you are done putting it together, you come and get me or you come and get Leslie and you say, done. Okay. Leslie or I myself will say, okay, go put it away. So we're going to go put it away. Now these are very heavy. Okay, so use a cart. I don't want anybody hurting themselves. That is the most bad thing. I don't want you hurting your back. I don't want you hurting your arms or accidentally dropping this on your toes. Okay, so pot on a cart. Let's take it to where it goes. Here. Okay, and then we take it down. Now, if you don't think that you can do this by yourself, what should you do? That's right, get a friend, get one of the other kids in the classroom, or get me. Say, hey, John, I need some help with this. Okay, I want you guys to come up and come speak to me. Speak to Leslie. Okay, don't be afraid to speak up. We're here to help you. Okay, so we take this down and we just put it right here. We always put it down. Okay, and we do that in case it rains and the rainwater doesn't get into our mold. All right, and then we just take the cart. And push it into our cart pile. All right. So now look at my hands. What do we think we have to do? Yeah, it's time to clean up. Go over here to the sink. Okay. Get a little water on our hands, just like that. Here's our soap that we use. Pour a little bit. That was a lot. And then we scrub. And we scrub. And we scrub a dub-dub. We do all our fingers. We get all that oil. We get all that cement dust. We get everything off our hands as much as we can. All right. Scrub the tops. Make sure we do our thumbs. And that's just how we should be washing our hands anyway right now. Okay, I've done it for more than 20 seconds, right? And if you don't know how long to do it, sing the ABC song slowly, and you're good to go. And we just turn it on, we rinse off our hands. Okay, here's where our paper towels are kept. Okay, doesn't work the best, but sometimes we have to pull it out. Now that's plenty. Don't go crazy pulling out a bunch of paper towels, okay? Because that costs us money as well. And into the trash can. And that's all there is to it, guys. We do that day after day, so you guys are gonna learn. And as you guys get better, and as I see some of you who really know what you're doing, I'm gonna allow you guys to have more freedom and just kind of do it on your own. But the number one rule is we are always safe. Okay, so we always take our time. If you need help, you come and get me, or you come and get Leslie. All right? You see how I'm dressed, parents? Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? This is how I want your guys to dress every day. They don't have to dress up and look pretty, because we work out here. We are a working classroom. This is a workshop. Okay, I want to reiterate that. This is a workshop. We get dirty. We paint. We work in the cement. We go down and we garden at some of the garden areas. When things do get back to normal, we will be going out to our community jobs. But those are usually done in the morning, so your guys, you know, they're not dirty when they're going to work. Okay? But when they're coming here, now I don't want holey jeans, this, that, torn shirt, no. Nice shirts that are clean, but clean that they can get, that it doesn't matter if it gets ruined or not. Okay? Pants, I don't want a bunch of holes in them. Okay? But they're nice, they're pants, but if they get dirty or they get paint on them, oh well, it's not going to ruin anyone's day. Look at my shoes. Okay? You don't have to have shoes like this. Tennis shoes are fine. Or you can wear boots like this if you want. Some of the boys used to wear shoes like this. Number one thing to remember, no open-toe shoes. Let's say that again. No open-toed shoes. I don't allow them. Okay? We just don't wear them because it's a safety hazard. Someone's going to hurt their toe if they drop something, because everything around here is heavy. Okay? So that's it for today. That's kind of just like our introduction to our process of doing our molds. And we're going to do another one later on when I have some more time, and we'll see you again. Bye.